Hey there YouTube, KS Cuber here, and today I have a super exciting unboxing of some custom puzzles from Ogre Cubes. I almost forgot to show this off here, but there was the intro. Decided to do a little bit more editing than usual for that. As you can see, these are some really exciting, cool mods from Ogre Cubes here on YouTube and Instagram. He's a really talented modder and also a good friend of mine, and I commissioned him to make a few puzzles. As you can see, first up here, let's start with the smallest one. This is a Penrose 1x1. Obviously, the ultimate challenge in puzzle technology, the newest and greatest of the 1x1 series. This one only has 3 colors, which makes the solving 3 times harder. I mean, forget the parody on the normal 1x1. This one will have you scratching your head for years trying to figure out how to solve it. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to set it aside. It's a cool display item. Thank you so much for making that as a bonus for this whole order. Next up here, we have a beautiful ornament by Ogre Cubes. This is the melted Rubik's Cube. It's kind of like that shirt that you just see like everywhere. I don't know, that melted Rubik's Cube shirt. Let's see how the turning on this puzzle is. It's pretty poor. Yeah. I would say that's about a 1x1 also. Maybe like a, I don't know what you call that. Is that like a half truncated 1x1? Yeah, that's pretty cool. And we also have a little Ogre Cubes logo. As you can see, it's a small ogre. And like I said, he does a lot of 3D printing stuff. So this is actually 3D printed. That is really, really neat. I haven't had any 3D printed puzzles up until this point. So very excited to get some of these in. This one, if you stick it up, would also be kind of like a 1x1. And next up here, the first of the actual puzzles on this one here. As you can see, this is also Ogre Cubes' logo. But this is a functional cube, and also he said this one took him a lot of work to make because the first one fell apart or something like that, and this one is nearly solid 3D printed filament. It is, as you can see, a 1x2x3, fully functional, and wow, the turning on that is actually very impressive. Turns very well, it looks really cool, and all in all, that is a really unique piece to add to my collection. And like I said, it is very heavy, solid 3D printed, as you can see right there. Also, cool sticker scheme on there. It is blue, light green, dark green, and another shade of green. So it's actually 4 different shades. It's still a 4-color scheme, kind of like the Penrose Cube, but it's actually 3 shades of green. Very cool. Okay, next up here, this is actually a really cool puzzle because he said this is going to be the only one of these he's going to be making. I don't know, maybe he'll change his mind in the future, but if not, I have the one and only Penrose 4x4, and wow, actually, I'm very impressed with the turning quality on that. I forget exactly which cube he made out of. I'll put it on screen if I can remember that, but basically, I think it's like an MF4 or a Thunderclap. I think it's an MF4. But either way, this actually is a really cool puzzle, and I will be putting a time-lapse solve at the end of this video, or at least my first solve on it, to see how it performs. Let's check the tensions here quickly. Tensions are on tight tensions, which is good. Tensions are on tight tensions. Yeah, I probably should have worded that differently. But anyway, wow, a very good piece of craftsmanship and a cool Penrose puzzle for my collection. I actually had a chance to buy the Penrose 9x9, but I don't know, you can't have everything, so instead, I decided to go for a 4x4. Let me quickly try a checkerboard pattern on here and see how that looks before I get into the solve at the end. Let's just get some turning impressions on this. As you can see, it is going to shapeshift quite a bit from a standard 4x4, which obviously stays cubic. And of course, you'll have center orientation and the 3 color scheme to worry about. So all in all, that is going to be a very interesting puzzle to solve. And as you can see, it looks very cool in checkerboard pattern. Okay, and last up, very, very cool. This is one of 2 of the original cubes I commissioned him to do, which were a mirror block 4x4 and 5x5. As you can see, apparently he couldn't quite get the last center orientation on a couple of those, so I'll fix that in the solve. I'm pretty sure I'll just solve it into shape first off, and then I'll try and fix that orientation issue at the end, but I will be doing my first time solve into shape at the end of this video also. As you can see, we have kind of a stuck-on Ogre Cubes logo there, and then I noticed this. That's actually really cool. It's a little cutout of an ogre there. I wonder exactly how he did that. Wow, that is actually really neat. But as you can see, very, very cool carbon fiber stickers. This is kind of like black on blue. I have actually some Chi mirror blocks that are sort of like this, so that's actually really cool. Now, without further ado, let's get into first turns. I actually haven't turned this yet. I believe this is made out of a Shengshao 5x5, so it's not going to turn like crazy good because of that, but wow, that actually does turn very, very well. It turns as good as a stock Shengshao 5x5, even though it has all this modification done to it. And as you can see there, actually a little cap fell off there, so I might have to glue those down. I'll have to decide on that. But let's see here if I can get the orientation right and get that back down. Actually, since we have the cap off here, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Now there is some precise work. As you can see, where the original piece ends right here, and where the 3D printed / sanded extension begins. A very, very good job right there. So it is kind of cool, even though they do tend to pop off. Okay, so I guess I should probably do a checkerboard on here to see how mirrored this is. I've been wanting a 4x4 and 5x5 mirror block since I really got into cubing. Probably 3 years ago, because this is, I mean, there are no mass-produced higher-order mirror blocks puzzles, and I'm pretty into mirror blocks puzzles, so I'm actually not sure why they haven't mass-produced a puzzle like this before, but this puzzle is absolutely awesome. As you can see right here in checkerboard, every single layer is a different height. This is going to be really fun to solve. Shouldn't have any issues like centers being in the wrong place or anything there, and turning on it is very, very pleasant. I'll be curious to see what kind of time I can get on this. Maybe like sub 5. That might be pushing it a little bit, but I'm definitely going to be doing a solve at the end of this to see what my first solve is going to be. Okay, one more pattern I want to try quickly. Let's try a super flip pattern on here. That should be interesting to see how it looks on a mirror blocks 5x5. This really is just a puzzle that does not exist. Obviously, there's been like the mirror blocks 11x11 and a couple other ones made before. Let me try and see, make sure I don't screw this up here. Yeah, I think that's more like it. Obviously, is the mirror blocks 11x11, and some other modders have made higher order mirror blocks puzzles, but they're really hard to get, from what I can tell. And I think I'm messing up the super flip here, so I'll come back once I get that done. Well, that actually took longer than I thought. First of all, I had to solve it like a 3x3 back into there, and then I had to do the super flip. But all in all, there it is in super flip, looking pretty crazy. As you can see, this whole stepped area there is the same. This whole stepped area here is the same, and then the one below it in other diagonals is also the same. On a 5x5 mirror cube like that. As you can see, if you kind of show the depth there, there are pieces that are the same, and there's pieces that are different. Anyway, very, very cool, and I'm definitely going to enjoy solving this one. I'll probably glue down those caps, like I was saying. Those were coming off quite a bit. I actually had like 4 or 5 fall off while I was trying to do the super flip. Not a big deal, and those should be easily glued down and work really well. All in all, I am super, super happy with this cube here, and thank you so much to Ogre Cubes for getting this done and sending it out to me. I still have the mirror blocks 4x4 coming, which will also be very interesting. That should be based on Thunderclap and may actually be more of a speed-oriented mirror blocks 4x4. So anyway, that's about it. Let's go on to a time-lapse solve of this one, and also the Penrose 4x4. Let's see what my first times are going to be. I bet very, very slow, maybe around 10 minutes. Okay, so actually after doing a solve both on the 5x5 and sort of a solve on the Penrose 4x4, which as you can see is not quite solved. These two pieces need to be switched. I'm not exactly sure how to do that, and I'm not exactly sure what I did wrong, but I'm going to try and figure that out. I already tried the parity algorithm to flip that, and I tried some other stuff there. It's obviously something minor that I'm missing, some sort of parity or false equivocation or something on the Penrose 4x4. So definitely a challenge on that. On the 5x5, actually very straightforward and very, very simple. I'm definitely going to need to glue those center pieces down. After that is done, I'm pretty sure I should be able to get like a sub 5 fairly easily. I'll be posting that to my Instagram once I do. As you can see, the first solve was 11:44. It's probably about 3 minutes of me putting back in pieces, and then the rest, I mean, I just wasn't really used to solving the puzzle. Another thing on the Penrose 4x4, I definitely will need to figure out which pieces combine with which ones here, because I definitely paired the edges incorrectly a bunch of times before I finally figured that out. And this cube here, as you can see, I did not do the center orientation, so that's going to be a reoccurring thing. You could do center orientation, but that would take quite a way. That would take quite a while, so I'm pretty sure I'll just do it without the center orientation. But feeling on this puzzle, now that I've actually solved it and everything else, it is speeding up significantly, and the feeling is absolutely awesome. Super, super smooth and kind of, I don't know, swooshy. Pretty loud, but I'm sure you can hear in the microphone there. But as you can see, there's that cap issue again. So I will be gluing those down, and after that is done, this should be an absolutely fantastic puzzle. It turns even better than normal Sheng-Xiao 5x5. All in all, very, very satisfied with these puzzles. Okay, so just gonna shoot this outro GoPro here. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe below if you enjoyed. Make sure to follow Ogre Cubes. I will leave his information in the description section below. Make some awesome mods, and if you want some sort of custom mod, you can contact him and see what his rates are for that. Anyway, that's about it for this video today. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe below. Stay tuned for more videos in the future. KS Cuber out. Goodbye.